1986. Greater Minnesota is reeling from almost a decade of bad news.
The word that sums it up for me is desperation. Our economy was tanking, double-digit interest rates, double-digit unemployment, farmers committing suicide, bankers struggling, the Iron Range was folding, and people were very, very discouraged.
Alarmed by the economic crisis, the Minneapolis-based McKnight Foundation set out on a series of road trips, following the headlines and visiting hard-hit areas.
And they started having listening sessions in all different sizes of towns and communities all over the state. And this idea of these regional initiative foundations began to form. And the result in central Minnesota with the Initiative Foundation has been incredible.
With $2.6 million in seed money, the Initiative Foundation, operating out of a makeshift office in Little Falls, set out to change the economic and community landscape in central Minnesota.
Suddenly, there you were. You had the money. What were you going to do with it? There was no template. There was no World Philanthropy for Dummies textbook that you could read and peruse and figure out what to do. You basically had $2.6 million. You had 2 years to do something with it.
The challenge was great, but the times demanded bold and decisive action, and the creation of a philanthropic lending program to help local people create local opportunities.
There were a range of projects. We had a small loan program, which was loans up to $5,000, home-based businesses, people starting companies in their garage just to get something going, a supplemental income, maybe to come alongside their farming income. I remember a company in Brainerd, Lakeland Mold, that began with a small loan, and over the course of this 30 years, we've continued our partnership by making several loans to that company that is still providing 200 quality jobs in the Brainerd Lakes area.
Our partnership with the Initiative Foundation has really been centered around how the Initiative Foundation has helped us from manufacturing, whether it be on technical or staffing, strategic planning, and whatnot. But when the Initiative Foundation comes in and they analyze and they ask the questions, and when they're willing to put some money behind it, it's really a huge endorsement.
People rely on these jobs, and if we want to have people to stay here, we better provide them opportunities.
Without a doubt, the Initiative Foundation has really been along our side along the way and have helped us get to where we are today.
We live and work where people come to play, and what more could you ask for?
Helping businesses succeed was just part of the equation. Equally important was the need to help our hometowns shine. Armed with the knowledge that business and community success were linked, the Initiative Foundation asked, what if we were able to help our communities grow and prosper through grants, training, and planning assistance?
The Initiative Foundation has been investing in community development since the mid-90s, and Wadena was one of our partners in the early 2000s. Their initial priority was downtown revitalization.
Early on in my tenure as mayor, there was a very involved community group that wanted to learn how to fundraise, how to lead, how to engage donors, how to excite citizens. And the Healthy Community Partnership at that time was a program the Initiative Foundation helped fund and bring those people into those roles, train them, give them tools to succeed. June 17th of 2010 was a day that most Wadena residents will never forget or want to relive again.
I've never seen a bomb go off, but if it would, that would be what it was like. It was just, everything was just amok. Trees all over the place, building materials all over, just a total disaster area.
Hours after the tornado hit, my phone rang, and it was Kathy Galzik with the Initiative Foundation wanting to know what she could do, what the Initiative Foundation could do to assist Wadena.
Our initial relationship in the hours afterwards was to help them do a short-term, immediate crisis response. Over 100 homes were destroyed, quite a few businesses were devastated, the county fairgrounds, the high school. And so we were raising money to provide some of that short-term relief. We also, even in the week after the disaster, began to help them start to think, what does recovery look like?
We together worked as a community to rebuild. We have a beautiful high school, middle school that is practically all paid for. We have this 50,000 square foot recreational facility with a swimming pool and walking tracks and workout facilities and gymnasiums. We have an ice arena that is beautiful. These are the amenities that came out of that. These are the things that we can point to and say, you know, we made that happen and we impacted this community for the next 50 years.
Wrapping around its economic and community development work, the Initiative Foundation gave Central Minnesota philanthropy a jump start when it powered up its Turnkey Partner Fund program.
I remember back, and I think it was about '87, when the Three Rivers area, the Elk River area, decided that they wanted to create a local community giving vehicle. They looked at establishing their own foundation, and they looked at some other options, and in the end they decided to create a fund within the structure of the Initiative Foundation. Now today they have over $1 million in assets, and they're making grants to their local community projects on a regular basis.
One of the, I think, attractive components of the Turnkey Fund of the Initiative Foundation is that the Initiative Foundation allows those kind of strategic decisions to be sown by those in the community, by those who know the community best and can identify what the specific needs are, how best they can be served, and providing alignment, collaboration, partnership within the resources of the given community.
The Initiative Foundation is our #1 ally. You know, they are there to lend a hand on everything.
It allows us exclusively to do what we want to do. Serve the community, build those relationships, invest in the key programs, help to administer the scholarships, the grants, the things that the Three Rivers Community Foundation does.
If we can get to where everyone knows, oh, Three Rivers Community Foundation, they're the best nonprofit around and they just seem to give and give and give, that's where we see things.
Throughout the Initiative Foundation's 30-year history, building strong communities, creating a vibrant economy, and building great leaders has been at the forefront of its mission. As baby boomers move into retirement, the need for community leaders, especially in our smaller hometowns, is on the rise. The Initiative Foundation is responding with programs and grant funding to give a diverse array of young people across our region the tools they need to succeed in business and civic leadership.
When we look at the numbers, we know we'll need over 11,000 people just to serve in local elected and appointed offices here in our 14-county region. So we need to be very intentional about attracting and retaining those leaders and encouraging our young talent to get engaged in community in meaningful ways. That's what's inspired our Emerging Leaders program. That's what inspired our Paths to Civic Engagement workshops this summer. And it's what's inspiring the Initiator Fellowship program. It's about who will lead this region in the future and what can we do to prepare those people for success.
Woven throughout the Foundation's core initiatives are a host of programs that strengthen the fabric of our communities. Early childhood initiatives to ensure healthy children and healthy families. Volunteers in Service to America to fight poverty. A financial resiliency through social enterprise program to help nonprofits strengthen their bottom line finances, and the Healthy Lakes and Rivers Partnership to help us be good stewards of our natural resources.
There are some programs that they've created over the course of the years that have become models for other initiative foundations, models for other funders, ways of kind of developing leaders and ways of working in different communities that have really become kind of the best practices. Their response to the needs of the region were unique. They were also amazing and creative and bold and very strategic.
For 30 years, the Initiative Foundation has been a model for rural philanthropy, economic development, and forward thinking. Its what-if mindset continues to drive change. And as the Initiative Foundation embarks on its next 30 years, the what-if question will continue to be answered through innovation and leadership, and by harnessing the insights, intelligence, and passions of the people and communities it serves.
As we think about the future of the Initiative Foundation, we don't know the details of the issues and opportunities that are going to come along. What we do know is that it will require people to continue to be engaged in their community in meaningful ways. That basic principle of local people being the key resource will always be the anchor for the Initiative Foundation. What we know is what keeps our communities strong and successful and vibrant is local people are at the helm, dreaming about what can be, having hope for the future, and then bringing that hope to reality.